was watching the best of Saturday night's main event, and a Mr. Perfect match came on. I liked him, but he was never my favorite. I never understand how people call him one of the best all-time workers. Of course he was solid, but I found his overselling comical. Instead of taking a head-first turnbuckle bump, Curt would springboard and literally cartwheel in the air. Instead of taking a chop, he'd do a standing backflip every time. Instead of being rammed into the ring post, he'd go airborne, almost helicoptering in the air. Way overselling. It looked ridiculous. Same with the way he sold a punching barrage with his head moving independently. But then I hear Bret Hart, my personal choice for greatest of all time, say Curt was the greatest he'd ever seen. Jim, what am I missing here?
Well, for one thing, you've never been in the ring with him. But no, I know what he's saying here. Because the first time I saw Curt, when they ran him all the way across the ring and he fucking head and the camera angle was perfect and the head went in a turnbuckle and he flies out into the middle of the ring through the air. I was like, why the fuck did he do that? And then the next time I saw him do it, I saw the feet on the bottom rope. Okay. He would go too far. It was a little bit much, but it was one of those things where the guy was so good on, and honestly, also look at, he had disability later on in life, the Lloyds of London policy and a bad back and et cetera from doing shit like that. But he was one of those guys that was so good that he wanted to challenge himself. And it was exciting to watch. It's one of those things where if anybody can get away with doing something like that, it'd be this guy, because he does it so fucking good. He's one of those guys that defies the rule of thumb because he's just so good at doing it. But also, as far as the reason why so many of the guys loved being in the ring with him, in all honesty, his timing, his positioning, he's the kind of guy that guys like to work with, because if you went to slam him, you never felt his weight. If he punched you, you never felt the punch. If you had dropped down and go to hip toss him, he's right there. You don't have to stand there and look like an idiot. Everything that you do is smooth because of what he's doing. The guys used to say it's a night off working with him, right? Because you don't feel it. And that type of thing. He was so good in getting the people involved with the matches, and so you could have an athletic match with that guy, but you knew you weren't going to get hurt unless some just freak accident where the ring fell down or whatever the fuck. It was a pleasure to be in the ring with him. And if he was entertaining himself and the people by going a little bit too far, at least you're fighting a guy and he's fucking flying for you. It made you feel like $1 million. So yeah, I see the criticism. But that's why a lot of the guys talk about how great he was. And plus, he was just such a fucking personality in and out of the fucking ring. So it's hard to knock, Hennig.